In this video, we're kind of switching things up a bit, and I'm throwing a little personal touch in here and sharing with you guys some of the things that have been most impactful on my self-development journey. I'm Amanda Horvath, and I'm all about helping business owners and entrepreneurs leverage the power of video without breaking the bank or taking up tons of their time. So if you're looking to use video in your strategy this year, then be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I release a new video. You guys have heard me talk about many times how video has truly changed my life and how it's been one of the biggest self-development journeys that I've been on. It is truly a call to adventure if you have a desire to do video. So I would say listen to it, but it will take you on a hero's journey and you will go through trials and tribulations and all of that. And so having tools in your toolkit to work through the emotional stuff that's coming up, the resistance that you're facing, can be extremely helpful. So I wanted to share some of the things that has really helped me on this journey in terms of pushing through resistance, overcoming self-doubt, and getting rid of the limiting beliefs that hold us back from truly accomplishing our dreams. Landmark Forum. Now, some of you might have heard about the Landmark Forum. In fact, some of you might even gone to it yourself. If you have, I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and drop a comment below letting me know. So what the Landmark Forum is I'm probably going to butcher how I describe it, but basically it's a weekend where it's a super intense weekend where it's like Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and it gets deep. It's really the first time that I got into a room of people that were authentically sharing who they were in front of crowds of people. So people get up on stage and they really work through resistance that they've been facing in their life, and they admit things that they really haven't even admitted to anyone in their entire life, and they're doing it in front of a room of strangers. It's just an extremely powerful event. And because it's so powerful, a lot of people talk about how it's kind of cultish. And to be honest, it kind of is when you get into it. It can be very salesy, and the people that run it have like their specific language for breaking down your barriers to signing up for the next course or whatever. However, I will tell you, if you can just kind of put all that aside, which I'm pretty good at doing. I feel like I kind of get into these things and then I kind of put those things aside and get the value out of it. It is insanely powerful. It really, you'll walk away from the weekend saying, wow, I can do anything. And that kind of fades over time, but a lot of these things stick with you as you kind of continue forward. So the main concept of the Landmark Forum is that we all have stories that we tell ourselves. So they call them rackets. So you create a story about something that happened. And because you're creating that story, you say something to yourself about what that story means. So I know I'm talking very abstractly, but say your boyfriend didn't clean the dishes and you say, he doesn't care about me because he doesn't clean the dishes. Well, that's just a story that you're creating in your life. And we create these all the time. And so there's something really, really powerful about reflecting upon your past and recognizing stories that you've previously created about your life. And these are typically limiting beliefs like, the first time that I was laughed at in front of an audience, I'm just not good at public speaking and I shouldn't be doing that, blank, 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 or whatever it is. We have these things just deeply rooted into us. And so the Landmark Forum for me was really impactful to kind of bring to light some of those things that was holding me back. And it was kind of that first step to really getting beyond myself and coming into a world of possibilities. Sedona Method. The Sedona Method has been extremely powerful in my life. It was a recorded conference that they, put on CDs, and there's a workbook that goes along with it. It's totally old school. I think it's come from like 1976 is when it was originally created. And when you listen to these CDs, it's a little bit, it's old school, right? It's like walking through a conference and people get up and ask questions. It's similar in the way that they approached the Landmark Forum in person. This is kind of like sitting in on that program but on a CD version, but it is also very different in terms of the content. So what I got out of the Sedona Method and continue to get out of the Sedona Method, there's like 20 CDs and I've only done 6 or 7. And for whatever reason, I have a hard time moving past those, but I know that it's so powerful. So I wanted to share it with you guys anyway. But basically, it's this concept of letting go. So whenever resistance starts coming up or something starts coming up, it's this opportunity to let go. And the main framework, what it is when something comes up, say you're feeling anger or you're feeling whatever it is that's happening, you're running this story, you're feeling resistance to filming 4 to 5 videos. Let's use that as an example because this is a perfect example. So you're like, I have to film 4 to 5 videos today. I really don't want to. And then you kind of tune into that. What does that feel like? And you kind of feel it wherever it's happening in your body. You just like think about it, feel it. And then you say, okay, could you let go of this resistance? Just for now, just for right now, could you let go of that resistance? And then you say, yes, you say it out loud. And then it's, would you let go? Would you? Like, are you choosing to let go of this resistance? And then you say yes out loud. And if you don't feel like you want to or that you can always say no. And then the question is, when? When will you let go of this? And that is an opportunity for you to say right now. And then you repeat that cycle over and over again. And it's really wild, but it genuinely does work. So if you kind of repeat that over and over again, you will find yourself having a lot less resistance to getting in front of the camera and filming 4 to 5 videos or whatever it is in your life. So the Sedona Method, that's only CD 1, right? There's so much into this that goes into letting go of approval and control and all of these different things. So you can buy this on Amazon. I'll link to it in the description below. It's kind of a pricey program, but it is extremely valuable. So it's great for self-development. So I wanted to kind of point that out because it has been a game changer for me in my life. The One Thing. The One Thing is a book, and they also have a podcast. And the concept of the one thing is that what is the one thing that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? And what I love about it is the simplicity of it. So it's actually kind of related to business primarily, but they also have a personal life side of things as well. So I got turned on to the podcast at some point. I honestly don't know how. I started listening to the podcast way before I read the book. And by the time I read the book, I had gotten a lot of the same principles from the podcast. So it really impacted me in the way that I prioritize my life in both business and personal. So I attended their goal setting retreat at the end of December. They have 2 each year. So goal setting retreat and then a mid-year retreat halfway through the year. And one of the exercises that we did was writing out all the roles that you play in your life. And this was extremely impactful for me. So you're a sister, you're a daughter, you're a girlfriend, you're blah, blah, blah. And you write out all the things, business owner, whatever, a YouTuber. And then from there, you write out the things that the roles that you eventually want to play, like a mother, a wife, or whatever. And then you have to organize them in order of priority. So you go from 1 to 10, what is the order of priority for the roles that you play? And then you have to limit it down to 5. And that has been insanely powerful for me to do that exercise and just be able to kind of let go and accept that, if my priority is to eventually be a mom, like how is that going to play into my business life? And how are those things going to look? And where does my husband fall into that and everything? So I know that's like, it's kind of weird to talk about on here, but it's really a powerful thing because when you do that and you start acting out of order of those priorities, you're going to recognize that there's probably some misalignment from the life that you want to be living versus the way that you're currently living your life. Now, they also have something called the 411, which is I do every single week, and it helps me kind of prioritize my business tasks. And what it is you choose 5 goals or 3 to 5 goals for the year. and then for the month, and then for the week. And it's just a one-page document that has all of your goals in one place. And I have an accountability partner that I meet up with every Tuesday morning, and we go over our 411 together. We are in not at all the same industry. She's a friend too, so it's kind of a cool way for us to keep in touch, but also keep each other accountable to make sure that we're really moving towards our goals. So the one thing I highly recommend reading the book or downloading the podcast and listening to it. I will link to that in the description below as well. All right, do you guys think I'm crazy or am I totally out there? What do you think about this? I'm so curious. I haven't shared this side of myself, and if you meet me in person, you would totally find these things out very quickly, but on the channel, I don't talk about it much. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and drop a comment below, including the hate ones, because you know what? This stuff can be triggering for people. And if it is triggering, like, pay attention to what that is that's popping up, right? So open to all feedback and very curious to hear your thoughts and start this dialogue. Abraham Hicks. Now this one might be the furthest out there compared to all of the other ones. Well, they're kind of all pretty far out there, but this one is a couple that actually the wife in the husband and wife combo, she is able to kind of channel who she calls Abraham, who gives her feedback and is able to speak through her towards other people. Now, I know this is wild, but here's the concept. If you can focus on feeling good right now in this moment, because that's the only thing that you truly have, then it pulls you into what they call the vortex. And this vortex is where things are kind of go in your favor. You are using the power of manifestation and that kind of stuff, the power of attraction, in order to get your life going in a positive direction. And in order to do that, you have to get into this place of gratitude. So in order to get into the vortex, whenever I'm finding myself in this place of negativity and a downward spiral or whatever's happening, like things just keep happening bad throughout the day, I stop and I have a moment of gratitude. I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat tonight. I have running water, right? We always have things to be grateful for. I mean, if you're watching this YouTube channel, it likely means that you have basic needs around you, right? You have time to be able to watch a YouTube video. So there's enough for you to be grateful for that you can just stop and for a second be grateful. There's tons of videos on YouTube that are Abraham Hicks rampages, they call them, and these have been really helpful for me as well to kind of train my thoughts and train my brain for how to get into this state of flow and into the vortex. So gosh, I know it sounds totally crazy. So once again, let me know in the comment section below what you think about all of this. But I hope that some of you are finding value in it, and that even if it helps just a couple of you, then this was meant to be. So those are 4 things that have significantly impacted my life. I'm curious to hear your thoughts and continue this dialogue and see if there's anything else that you think maybe I should look into. Clearly, I'm a person that absolutely loves self-development and doing these deep dives into myself. So I would love to chat further about this. Hit me up on Instagram in my DMs. I don't only talk about videos, so we can chat about these things too. Otherwise, go check out one of my other videos. Click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I'll see you in the next one.